especially in real estate. People tell them to go screw themselves. You gotta have thick skin. So a lot of times with them, it's tougher. I like they ask them pretty much 3 questions when we're vetting someone. How you doing? Do you want to sell the property? Okay. You want to sell? What's level 1 to 10? What's your serious right now on selling the property? I don't even ask them just how serious are you? Because I want to hold you accountable. You tell me you're a 10 out of 10 seriousness, you better show me you're a 10 out of 10. You tell me you're a 6, a 5, the lowest I get is like a 4 or 5. No one ever says I'm a 1 because they want to come off. Are you serious? So, I get people who are 10s and they just get cold feet. Instead of saying, oh, what's your timeline on selling, when you want to do this, that's all good questions, but I like putting the pressure on them saying, tell me how serious you are right now, scale 1 to 10.
Where do you find your VAs in? Fiverr, Upwork?
No, we were thinking about starting something to build them out, but it's such a, to get them, but it's called Online Jobs.ph.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've hired a few from there.
Yeah. And man, you put out a listing, you get 100 applicants. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You can't go through them. I literally picked like the first 2 I could find and just trained them, and they were good. And I got lucky, thank God. But
You pay the $79 and you can cancel once you hire them.
that's it.
It's
$70.
account.
Yeah, no,
They
yeah,
have
$70.
paid account.
Yep.
Yeah.
$70. You get 3 posts or something, or
Yeah.
a month or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've done it, Rich. I haven't had a hire.
I hire Upwork now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I
Upwork,
got
Upwork's
one.
good.
Upwork.
The thing is with you can scale this and have, an overhead nightmare. You can have 20 VAs cold calling, but those 20 VAs, you need 4 people who are, like you're saying, doing acquisitions. Who's following up, staying on these people? I'm at the point, I can't even keep up. Even as Hunter's FUB is probably, follows what's called FUB. If you guys aren't familiar with it, look into it. It's actually really good. We do it for the agent side. I don't really do my investing side on it, but FUB, it gives you your tasks every day. You got to go through and make your calls and email, text, anything, and it's just reminding you, and it's your daily task. You got to knock it out. And Hunter probably wakes up some Mondays and he's got 150 tasks to call, and even just, hey, how you doing? We talked 6 months ago, just want to stay in touch. Anything you want to do with your property, let me know. And that's it. And then you're on to the next, So now, a year down the road, you've talked to them 4 or 5 times. It's almost like you know each other at this point. You're starting to talk to them, hey, it's Steve, how you doing? Oh, everything's good, So it's just that too. And the same thing with your sellers. And go into the situations wanting to help people first and foremost. Look at it and just say, how can I help you today? How what this thing as good as anything else dealing with pace and everyone. Put them first over yourself and over money, and the money follows. It's that simple. Give back. You go out to breakfast and your bill's $28, leave a $28 tip. It's your good karma you're putting into the energy, into the earth. And I'm a wholehearted believer in that, man. Just, surprising you go to the mall around Christmas, surprise the lady cleaning the floors with $100. You'll never see someone with a bigger smile on their face in their life. Stuff like that, and it pays dividends. It really does.
Yeah, it comes back.
What else, guys?
You sound like me, man. Right?
Yo-
People
yo-
have been to my meetups, that's what I say. Man, you sound just like me.
That's why
man.
we do so well together.
You're incredible, man.
Same
You
thing.
sound just like me. I'm a go-giver.
Well, you're better looking.
I say, hey, thanks for putting on that salad today, man. If you didn't come to work, you wouldn't put that salad. Was he
We're
great
going
or what?
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
I just want to say this. I've had meetups since February. Ed is the only one who's spoken more than me and Donovan. I like to talk. I've talked for over 2 hours. I think Ed beat me. But
it really 2
everything was
hours?
amazing, right? It was all incredible. Everybody was at the edge of their
Three
seats.
pages worth of notes. Back
Man, I love it.
The people that left early, they must have had appointments because there's no way I would have left this. I took notes too.
The
You were
thing is,
incredible.
you can take all the notes you want, but if you don't implement it tomorrow, it's just as good as it does on the paper.
Exactly.
That's all it is. So get out there and
Incredible.
fucking, go bring me a deal this week, guys. Come on, I want a deal.
Incredible.
Go
Get
get me a
his
nice
number,
land
give
deal.
him your numbers,
Yeah.
get Ed's
Bring this
number.
guy deals. I want to,
Bring me deals, whatever. Or I'll bring you.
I know you
deals.
had a question. You had a good question. I actually put a thing out on my Instagram I don't do social media a lot, guys. I'm young, but I'm old, I swear. to
Alex
God.
is a social media expert.
Well,
I want to talk to him.
you need
Alex.
to manage my account there, so it's
No,
incredibly built up.
I manage my own account.
Okay, so yeah,
I don't do that yet.
so, here's a couple questions I got. Let me just see, because I actually, all right. First question, in Florida, if your career as a stripper ends, how do you make money as a real estate agent? Anyone know? I don't know. That's my buddy asking a sarcastic question, I'm sorry. What's that?
This is from the meetup page.
Love it.
Got it.
So,
That's your Instagram?
yeah, so I love this question. Metrics to use while trying to identify out-of-state cities to invest in. Let's go. So, AirDNA, this is, I just got taught this. I know AirDNA, but if anyone uses AirDNA to comp, an Airbnb, because that's really the main reason I'm looking at a state is for some Airbnb I want to travel to. I want to take my wife and my kids there and go see a different place, have a house there. AirDNA maxes you out where you got to be paying like $1,000 a month for one market. Super expensive. My man over here just told me about incognito mode. You're asking the question, you taught me this. AirDNA is a huge thing. Incognito mode, you go on AirDNA, you'll be able to get unlimited from what I've seen so far. But you find that, just talk to people. You just go out there, call a big agent. You want to call someone like John. John's got a bunch of people, and call someone like Rich, call someone like me. You want to call someone, find out what's going on in the market, who are the big investors, because they're going to give you 3 names right off the bat. If they're a good agent, they're going to say, hey, call this guy, pick his brain. Same thing, just network. Say, hey, what's going on in the market? I'd love to do deals with you. If you get anything you pass on any which way, or you have a wholesaler you can link me up with. It's just, if I asked Rich that, he'd probably tell me, call Alec. He'd probably say, okay, yeah, call that, call
Definitely
that.
call Alec.
That's what so you're going to refer someone. You say, hey, not only me, but
He's very, like you, he's very humble. This guy is amazing.
we met at Paces.
Oh, yeah, he's
event.
incredible.
We were all there.
And he's very humble like you.
Which event did we meet?
It was Paces event. I don't know, what is it?
In Palm Beach?
Yeah.
It's good to see you again.
You too, bro. He doesn't even remember. I remember. Let me see what else I got.
Oh, I texted you a deal in Miami.
You might.
I
I don't know if it was a deal, but I didn't
He's a
think
text.
you might text me a lead or a property. I don't know if it was a deal. Oh, you sent the cancellation?
No, I mean, you did.
Oh, I did. Yeah, no, it wasn't a deal for me.
No, it was
What do you guys like for podcasts, books, YouTube? What does everyone listen to?
I'm going to what's the hotline?
Wholesale hotline? Yeah. Dude, you guys, if you don't know Pace Morby, you cannot go wrong with Pace.
Who's this guy?
He only knows football players and stuff. No.
Sunday service?
Yeah, Sunday service. These guys know.
Sunday
Pace
service?
is, dude. I found Pace like 3 years ago when he was like no one, and then somehow we got connected and we looked at deals together. We stay in touch. I have his number. He is the most like go-giving guy where anything you need, he'll give you the shirt off his back. What he preaches is literally just like give back. How much does this guy give? I mean,
Bro,
he's
like-
the ultimate giver. I've never seen.
More than
So,
Santa Claus.
Seriously, this guy just gives, and it comes back to him because he gets these seller finance deals. That's his whole thing is subject to. Subject to, if anyone doesn't know, is you're not assuming the mortgage, but you're just literally taking over their payments. You're having the closing and everything, you're getting a deed, and you're subject to the existing loan. So if that existing loan is 3%, 4%, or whatever it is, you're taking it over, paying it, cash flowing it. A lot of benefits to it, a lot of negatives to it, depending whichever way you want to look at it. For a buyer, it's always, seller finance is a great thing. I'm actually, one of my properties I'm considering seller financing because it's just, I want the money, I don't want to manage them. So he's just preaching seller finance, subject to properties, and, just coming together as a community, making deals happen. And look him up, Pace Morby.
How do you spell his last name?
M-O-R-B-Y.
Okay.
He's got, anything I talk tonight, he's got 10 times as much of that and more elaborate.
He's all over YouTube too.
Yeah, he's really, really good. He's a good dude.
Everything definitely locked in.
He's a good, it's the most important thing, he's a good dude. So, yeah, seller finance is another thing, I can get into that for a while, it's just, but crazy, I think we're running out of time to get into that.
Little
Pretty
bit.
booked too.
I only got the place till 10. The guy told me specifically, because we normally don't have tables, and he needs people here to get rid of the tables.
Let me see if I missed anything. Hunter, didn't you have something about, you had another question you asked me about, I told you to bring it up with.
Alright, so how does someone like me, I wanna get into investing, but I don't have a lot of the capital. You talk about these, the New Jersey deal about how $200,000 worth of rehab. How does someone like me get involved in something like that?
If you don't have someone that can back you with the money,
Yeah.
that's gonna be very hard to start doing.
So like, where does someone like me start?
Your best way to start is, right now, you're doing he's in real estate, he's doing sales. Save up some money, get some money behind you that you're ready to invest, not that you're living on just money you can invest, right?
So I'd say like for me, like, I probably have about like $25,000 that I'm like I said to you earlier, like, I will write a check for $25,000.
Yeah.
I'm itching to go.
So what you need to do is, if it's not this market, find an alternative market too. You can go to Ohio and probably buy a friggin' house for $25,000, you know what I mean, if you were to buy a house or something. But you can use that $25,000, say, have you ever bought a house before, as far as under your personal name?
Yeah, everywhere.
So you might be able, correct me if I'm wrong, you could do a second home mortgage, I see people do it all the time, 10% down? No? Mr. Finance?
I don't do.
Steve.
You don't do residential? Steve, I'm sorry.
Only commercial.
So you can get into
Not
properties for 10% down as a second home loan. And say you want to do that, it's hard to tell you exactly what to do with $25,000. My best thing to say is partner up with someone that has another 25,000, go in on a deal that you have 50,000, or find a few people, you get 100,000, then you can go buy more real estate with it, and just get a deal done. It depends what you want to do. Do you want to buy and hold? Do you want an Airbnb? Do you want to do a flip? You know, because my first flip was, it was just someone I knew, and he's been saying, Ed, I just want to do a flip where we can make $5,000 each. And I told him that's way too little. It's too risky.
Yeah.
And he trusts me enough that I knew what I'm doing, because I have the construction background, I knew everything. He put up 32,000 to buy the property, and then put in, what did we put in? So we put in like 60 grand or something like that. So he put in all that money, I didn't have to come out of pocket. When I sold it, I had 25 grand more. And then the next one I found, I bought it for 13,000 cash. Went in, maxed out every single credit card I maxed out. Borrowed the money, you know, it took a month to sell in rehab, so I paid, well, let's say I paid 2 months of fees, of